So all I've done so far is talk about concepts that apply strictly to animation, but have you stopped to think about what the purpose of your animation is? Why your characters are doing what they're doing? If your goal is to understand Monty's style and possibly replicate it for yourself, this may be one of the most important episodes so far. Character is a box, and in it are 4 concepts: ability, personality, motivation, and continuity. Ability is what they can do. Personality is who they are. Motivation is what their incentives are, and continuity is the metaphorical rubber band we'll use to keep this stuff together and making sense. Let's say you have 2 characters. If you just said they're gonna fight and then choreographed your scene with just that information, it won't be quite as grounded unless you establish a few things first. The first thing to do is set up each character's fighting style. For the sake of simplicity, we'll keep things vanilla. One can punch, one can kick. Immediately you're out of your comfort zone. Why not make them equally capable? Because now that you've restricted yourself, you're forced to think in an entirely different way. This is an extreme example, but making things uneven or restricted like this completely changes your mindset going into it, and in turn changes the result. Next is giving them a personality. Let's say Kickman is cocky but cool-headed. He's fighting to keep his reputation and could care less about how Punchman feels about him. Now Punchman's father was kicked to death by Kickman, and he's seeing red. His goal was to break the legs that killed his father. Now that this is established, we now know that the fight is high stakes, and while also being entertaining, progresses the story. This fight scene is now necessary to Punchman's character arc. Now all we have to do is maintain the set of rules that we've set up for the characters throughout the fight, and we've completed our final rule of continuity. The best example of these concepts in use is Volume 2, Chapter 11, No Breaks. In this episode, everyone in the team with the exception of RWBY faces an enemy that reflects their own personal conflicts. Yang faces a foe that she can't defeat with sheer aggression, Weiss faces a Faunus that has a grudge against the Schnee family, and Blake faces Roman, the puppet master behind attacks in the name of the White Fang, where Blake has family ties. I'd be hard-pressed to find a better example of action motivating the story. Every single thing that happens during this sequence happens for a reason. Now, let's recap. Rule number 1, don't let the plot's requirements influence what a character can and can't do. Rule number 2, the character's fighting style should reflect their personality. Rule number 3, give your action meaning. And finally, don't forget rules 1, 2, and 3. Hey, ho, what you gonna do? Hey, ho, what you gonna do? Hey, DJ! Hey, my name is Cake. What's going on? So, we're one video away from the finale of animation analysis, and I'm just about as clueless about what's coming next as you are, so I don't know, put an idea in the comments. I could use all the help I can get. I'm also, doing something that none of you will like, I guarantee you. But, just wait for that, I guess. Bye.